channel, guys. Next in food, I am your diva chef, Simone Walker Barrett. Today's tutorial is all about ripe plantain, so I am pleased to share with you how to use up the bounty of ripe plantains, and we're going to be making a ripe plantain chorizo cheese balls. I know it's a lot of words, but it is going to be absolutely delicious. So step one, we need a nice firm ripe plantain. Now I'm going to take my knife to it and I'm going to cut the top off and cut the bottom off. Then I'm just going to cut it down the side and then cut it into about 2-inch pieces. Now for this preparation, I am going to boil the plantain first, and so we're going to boil them in their skin. So in a pot of boiling water, we put the plantain in the skin and allow it to boil until it is fork tender. Now on to step two, we are going to be making our chorizo filling. This is a chorizo sausage. You can buy your favorite sausage in the supermarket. I like chorizo because it is spicy. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to slice it down the length of the sausage, just like so. And then I'm just going to cut it in small strips using my knife. The aim here is to get it cut into tiny dice, and then we're gonna just cut it and put them all together like so. And then we cut into small dice. That's quite simple, right? So this is the first step of our filling. I'm using one sausage because I am not making a whole lot of plantain balls, so this will give me roughly 6 to 8. Okay, this is what it looked like. And so the next step is to saute the sausage along with some secondary flavors. Now it's time for us to saute our chorizo that we cut earlier. We're going to put it into a pot with about a tablespoon of oil, and we're going to cook it, stirring occasionally until they are golden brown. So guys, our chorizo have been cooking for a few minutes and now they're golden brown. I want to get rid of most of this rendered fat. We're going to be adding 1 tablespoon of the rendered fat to the mashed plantain just to carry over the obedient chorizo flavor. So now it's time for us to add some other savory flavors. We're adding 1 teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning. And this is my house-made chopped seasoning. This is tomatoes and bell peppers and hot pepper and scallion chopped together. So that's going to be added in to the party, just like that. The chorizo is on the salty side, so there's no need to add any salt. And then finally, we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of ketchup, just to add some extra moisture to our filling. And that's all there is to it. This is our chorizo filling that we're going to cool and add some cheese to it and use it to stuff our ripe plantain balls. So, ladies and gentlemen, our ripe plantain have been boiling for 15 minutes and they're now fork tender. So I stick them with a fork, and then at this time I just peel the skin off and I leave it in the pot. And that was the purpose for cutting that that little indentation on the side. So again, you want to stick it with a fork, look for where the marking is, and then peel it off. If you cannot manage to touch it while it's hot, feel free to allow it to cool down. Isn't that cool? So we want to crush it while it is hot, just like this. Just take a fork to it and just give it a mash. So in Jamaica we say crush. We say crush everything. Crush Irish, crush plantain. So if where you're from, you're not familiar with that word, it simply means the same as mash. Okay, so the Jamaican word for mash is crush. Okay, so that's all there is. We are going to allow this to cool, and then we're going to be making, while this is cooling, we are going to be making the filling, the chorizo filling that we're going to put into our plantain balls along with our cheese. So our plantain filling has cooled down. Now we're going to be adding that reserve 1 tablespoon of chorizo fat. This step is totally optional if you are watching your fat intake, but it really amp up the flavor and bring the chorizo, carry over the chorizo flavor very, very well, and it makes it a little bit easier to roll. Now, as I said before, we are going to be, I'm just dividing it into about 4 balls, guys. These are the size. I was going to use my scoop, but I could just judge it. All right, so now that this is cool enough to touch, this is what we're going to do. I'm just going to round it. See, the oil from the chorizo allows you to maneuver the mashed plantain. If you want them smaller, feel free to do them much smaller, but this is the size we're looking for. Now I want to show you our setup here. We're doing what is called the standard breading procedure, and for that you'll need seasoned flour. This flour is all-purpose flour, and it is just seasoned with some all-purpose seasoning. This is egg wash, so this is 2 eggs that I mix about 2 tablespoons of water in. And finally, I'm using some panko breadcrumb, and I also added some all-purpose seasoning in my panko breadcrumb. So we're going to start by placing our plantain balls directly into our seasoned flour. So you just shape them into a ball, just like so, and just rest them into the flour. So rolling them into a ball, we are going to fill them with our cheese and chorizo. So now onto the filling. This time I take some flour into my hands, take our balls and just flatten them just like so. Just make a nice indentation in there. We want to put about as much of the filling that will hold. So roughly 2 teaspoons and some cheese, and just cover it back over just like so. See that, guys? And then we just shape it back into a ball. All right, after we do this, we totally cover it with the flour. So the flour causes the egg wash to stick, and then that also causes the breadcrumb to stick. So that is why we do flour, egg wash, and breadcrumb. So I'm gonna roll all of these, and then we're going to continue on with our egg wash and our breadcrumb. ladies and gentlemen, we're on to the final step, and that step is to deep fry our plantain chorizo cheese balls. Now I'm frying in vegetable oil that has been heated up to 350 because 350 is a good temperature to fry at. Fried food should never be greasy, so you want to get the oil really hot to 350, because once you lower the products into the oil, the temperature is going to drop about down to 320. So start at 350, and you want to fry on medium to high. Everything in this is already cooked, so all we're looking for are some textures on the outside. We're looking for crispness, because anything that is fried should be crisp. So while we wait on that, we have our tray here. I like to drain fried food over a tray that is lined with a rack. Look at that. Look at that golden brown goodness. And you always want to try and remember the order of how you put them in, and that's how you want to turn them. Okay, these are going to be ready very quickly. These take less than 5 minutes to fry, so do not walk away from your fried foods. Frying requires your constant and direct attention. Look at this, guys. Ripe plantain chorizo cheese balls. They are now ready. We're just gonna take them out and allow them to cool down, and then we're gonna just enjoy. Presentation time, guys. We're just gonna put it on a plate with the extra filling. I want to cut into it for you guys to see what it looks like. Are you ready? Listen to that crunch. This is why we did the breadcrumb. So I'm just going to cut into it. It says crunchy on the outside and soft. Look at the cheese on the inside. Okay, this is what our plantain chorizo cheese balls looks like. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to hit the subscription button if you've not yet subscribed. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like and share. I am your diva chef, Simone Walker Barrett. I'll see you next time with another simple recipe tutorial that you can make for you and your family. Take care.